Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Campbell. I'm the Vice President of Corporate Development for Fireweed Metals. I'm pretty new with the company, and so just to give a bit of context of who I am, I'm a mining engineer by background. I've worked but I primarily worked in the banking industry most of my career. And so when I was first approached by Callum Morrison and John Robbins to potentially, join the Fireweed team, I was both intrigued and also terrified. Intrigued because of the opportunity, but terrified of shifting from a very risk-averse industry into a risk-taking junior exploration company. And so I am a big proponent of the concept of, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And after doing the due diligence on the company, I came to realize very quickly that this company was set for success. And so it was a no-brainer decision for me to join. And I'm here to explain why this company is set for success. Few cautionary statements. Key themes, these concepts have been beaten to death in these types of conferences, but I want to stress them one more time. And in summary, we need metals, and we need metals for the energy transition. However, there's government policies are all aligned towards these purposes. However, there are counteracting forces like resource nationalism, and of course, as it's pretty clear here, it's underinvestment, which will cost a lot to meet demands here. And so all of these counteracting forces, from my perspective, are setting up the stage for a golden age for metals. And so this is where Fireweed Metals comes into play. We're a Canadian company with a mission to explore and develop critical mineral assets through progressive leadership, high standards innovation, and collaborative partnerships. We have a pretty diverse board with mine builders like Patrick Downey, lawyers, mine finance individuals, and of course great explorers, including our CEO Brandon McDonald and John Robbins, the executive chairman, founder, of course, of Kaminak Gold and Great Bear Resources. So I want you to take a close look at our capital structure. We're backed by incredible, groups of companies and people. Starting with the Lundin Group, with 20%, they made their initial investment last year, end of last year, with $20 million. And since then, they've maintained, continued investments in our company. We are owned 8.3% by Teck. I believe they participated on the last 4 or 5 financings so far over the last 4 or 5 years. Larry Childress, a high net worth individual from the US, big supporter of the company. Iberia Capital, and of course a big block there of close associates and family. So it leaves a small float really out there for the general market. We currently have a cash on hand of $20 million and are trending towards ending the year with a roughly $10 million. So this is where we're located in the Yukon, a region with incredible resource endowment and incredible value there. But alongside incredible resource endowment, there's also a lot of infrastructure challenges, as you probably know, you've already seen in the previous presentations. We fortunately benefit from having an access road onto McMillan Pass and the Mactank projects, which are right in the border between Yukon and the Northwest Territories. And also we are beneficiaries of the Resource Gateway funds with $71 million committed to be spent by the government into upgrading our road. We also have access to the port of Skagway in Alaska and to Railhead in northern BC. And I also didn't mention that we have another asset, the Gaina project, which is a polymetallic zinc, lead, gallium, and germanium project. Extremely prospective property that we look forward to continue exploring. So starting with Mac Pass, I don't think there's need to explain this, why zinc. Zinc is one of the metals that was critical before even it was cool being critical, right? It's used across a varied uses, primarily driven by its anti-corrosive properties. And we believe it's incredibly there's an underinvestment in this space that will probably lead to a significant gap between supply and demand in the near term. And we believe we're well positioned to service this space. So this is MacPass, the heart and soul of our company. And the first asset that we acquired, the core was acquired from Hut Bay back in the time, Tom and Jason deposits. And these two deposits were long orphaned by Hut Bay. When we went to site with the company, we came to realize that everyone remaining within the Hut Bay team hadn't been to site. And so it's a very underexplored area. And so we came to realize pretty quickly that not only Tom and Jason had potential to expand, but we also found that there was an incredible trend of potential alongside the Northwest. And so we started buying land packages, starting with the 50 square kilometers at Tom and Jason, and then we expanded over buying land packages from Newmont, Tech, which is the land package that now we call Boundary, which is the result of our success in 2022 and 2023. And since in 2018, our mineral resource was roughly 50 million tons at 10% zinc equivalent. Since then, it's passed five years of intensive drilling, and we've been quite successful. So as you can see here, incredible intersections, and which have become more and more successful as we approach the present. So essentially, 2022, 2023, we discovered the Boundary Zone. Most of our focus so far in 2023 drilling campaign has been in this area between Boundary West and Boundary Main. We've had tremendous success, and we've proven that these two areas are not isolated areas, but rather they're both connected. And so just as a matter of example, 2022 highlight drill result of 124 meters of 12.3% zinc, 1.3% lead, and 45.9 grams per ton silver. And in 2023, we got hole 7, with 118 meters of 15.1% zinc, 2.8% lead, and 85.8% grams per ton silver. So we've been quite successful. We expect that in Q1 2024, we're going to increase this resource estimate significantly. And so just for you to have a context here, plotting zinc deposits worldwide, you have resource size in the x-axis, average zinc and lead grade in the y-axis. MacPass is on the left there with 4.6 million tons of zinc equivalent. We expect with this new resource update in Q1 2024 to roughly double our tonnage. And based on the highly prospective grounds that we have, we believe, looking forward into the future, we believe that we can be continued success and leave the Taylor and Hermosas and the Ozornoyas that are way to the right there in the rearview mirror. So we're expanding significantly, and we have a world-class asset. And so just for you to have a context, Taylor Hermosa, which is going to be right in the ballpark where our new resource will be roughly, was sold from Arizona Mining to South 32 for $2 billion. So we see there is a quite significant upside to our story there. And there's lots more to drill. Tom, Jason, and Boundary were relatively easy to find. They all either outcrop or subcrop, and so we believe that there's more to discover. Looking into the future, we want to, for our 2024 drill campaign, we're trying to match or maybe surpass our 23,000 drilling campaign of 2023, and we will have a special focus on generative exploration. Mactung, our tungsten deposit. Why is it critical? Well, first of all, I'm not sure if you know, but tungsten is a very hard, high melting point metal, and so it's used specifically for cutting and drilling for the mining industry and also oil and gas industry, but also more strategically for aerospace and defense. And it's particularly strategic and for the U.S. government. Why? Because not sure if you guys know, but starting 2026, the U.S. government mandated that no tungsten shall be sourced from Chinese sources for the purpose of for U.S. contractors, for U.S. defense contractors. So we are probably the highest, if not the highest grade and largest tungsten deposit in the Western world. There are no mines in North America, and so we believe that we are the Western answer to those North American and Western needs for tungsten. Here's the project. It's right adjacent to our Mac Pass property. It's a pretty mature project that we acquired from the government, actually, following the bankruptcy of North American Tungsten. It has a feasibility in place, and it also has, which is rare in this, particular in this region, it has an environmental impact statement in place with a positive decision to proceed. And so it's a pretty strategic project for us because it's not only critical, it'll also unlock value synergistically with our Mac Pass project. And so again, for context, you plot the x-axis with resource size, the y-axis with grade, and as you can see, very predictably, tungsten deposit, as you increase the resource size, average grade decreases. Well, here is Mactung. Mactung is a freak in its own nature, very high grade, large scale, and we believe with the resource, which was actually updated this year, we can supply the North American demand for at least 40 or 50 years. And so just to wrap things up, I think we're facing a bull market, very supportive of zinc, and also very supportive of tungsten consumption. We have two best-in-class projects in both of these fields. We have incredibly strong backers with cash ready to be deployed into our project. And also there's a lot of catalyst in the near term. We just went through a 62-hole campaign. In 2023, we've only reported 16 holes out of the 63, 62, 63. And so there's a lot of assay spending before the end of the year, which we're planning to report the rest of our results during the balance of the year. There's an updated resource in Q1 2024 for Mac Pass and potential technical reports following this. So feel free to contact me over the course of this conference, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. We maybe have time for one question, if anybody in the audience has a question. If not, Alex, thank you for the presentation.
Absolutely.